He's back at the enemy. And this is going to be an interesting one, indeed, isn't it? This is going to be an interesting one. I'm interested to see what Nottingham Forest are going to look like here. We're back. We're back. The Premier League is back. Which is exciting. International break is over. Thank God. Oh, they're brutal, aren't they? They really are. They really are absolutely brutal. In terms of team news, if you're just tuning in, they can see that right there. Let me scroll a little bit. There you go, with the watch call it and the thingy. Yes, I am a professional. You can see for Arsenal, they've got David Raya in goal, a back four of Calafiori, Gabriel. Mosquera, of course, comes in for Saliba. He was injured in the last game against Liverpool, came off early, didn't he? And Mosquera came on and actually did really well against Liverpool in that game. Midfield three, bit of an interesting one, this, of Mikel Moreno, Martin Zubimendi and Martin Odegaard. Declan Rice on the bench today for Arsenal. Bit of a curious one, but I suppose, look, Champions League starts midweek, excuse me. They've got games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be covering them here on the Football Flex. It's going to be a busy week of streams here, so be sure to join us. And then a front three of Madueke, better than Saka, right? Better than Bukayo Saka. Nani Madueke, no, he's done all right. But, you know, I don't know if we'll go that far. Eberechi Eze starts for Arsenal today. I think that's going to be a really good bit of business for Arsenal this season as a top player. And Victor Gyökeres up front. Wonder what's the expected hair flicks or how involved is he going to get today? Time will only tell, won't it? Yes, time will only tell. We'll see what happens with Gyökeres. As far as Ange Postecoglou's first starting 11 for Nottingham Forest, of course, the big story in the international break was Nuno Espirito Santo sacked, fired by Evangelos Marinakis, and in comes Ange. I mean, think of the stories here. You know, Ange's first game just so happens to be against Arsenal, of course, the rival of Spurs. The partnership of the former Arsenal director of football, whatever his title was at Arsenal, and Edu, and the former Spurs head coach in Ange Postecoglou, how that's all coming. It's just a ridiculous story, isn't it? But they've got Sales and goal, back four of Williams, Milenkovic, Murillo, and Morato. In front of them, they've got Sangaré and Elliot Anderson. Got a lot of plaudits in the international break, didn't he? In front of them, you've got Ndoye, Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi, who I think, did Hudson-Odoi sign a new contract at Forest? I think he did, didn't he? And Chris Wood also up front. A lot of people wondering, is it going to be the same Chris Wood now that Nuno's not in charge? We will see. But that is the starting 11 for both sides today. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Football Flex and let us know how you're feeling. Can see in the chat here, Postmanton says, just rotation, I think. We've got options, not a weak midfield. Certainly not a weak midfield at all. You know, as a Manchester United fan, Sir Alex Ferguson do it all the time, wouldn't he? You look at the games coming up. You know, you don't. It's kind of a bit of a lost start, isn't it? You don't. If you're a big team, you don't always pick your strongest team that's available. You pick the team that can do the job that day because you're looking at the calendar, going, right, we've got some games coming up here that will require more. That'll be bigger. Who's Arsenal's game in the? They got to go away to Bilbao. Not easy. Man United did it. Even a shitty Man United did it. But then they're looking, you've got to look ahead maybe 2 or so games, don't you? Because next Sunday, what's the Super Sunday? Arsenal versus Manchester City at the Emirates. And top managers have to think 2 or 3 games ahead, don't they? They have to think of, okay, we've got the game today. Then we've got midweek, which we need to get off to a good start in. And then next weekend, we've got a match against maybe top 6 rivals. I mean, who knows? City could be an absolute freefall by that point. Let's be honest. I mean, the Manchester derby tomorrow, which I think Man United fans are feeling optimistic about, which says a lot for us. We're feeling like optimistic about it. And that says a lot about City at the moment. So if Man United get a result there, then they've got to go to the Emirates. It could be a wild couple of weeks for Manchester City, no doubt about that. Big up Ed the Red with the first super chat of the day. The unofficial mascot of United View says, win-win for me. F1 standing Arsenal or AFTV as well. You know, This is why we do it here. And big up Javid also in the chat as well. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe as we're just getting the run through of the teams on the screen at the moment. I just hope this is like, I hope this is a game, like a good game. You know what I mean? Final one standing, right? I was wondering, Ed. I was wondering. I'm not good on the shorthand. But so you've gone with Arsenal today. I see. Interesting. Yeah, I just hope this isn't a complete like washout and Arsenal blow away Forest. That would be a little bit disappointing. I'm hoping just for a bit of something. Here's hoping. Ange Postecoglou back. He's never beat Arsenal as the Spurs manager, by the way. And the last Forest manager to beat Arsenal away, Brian Clough, which does go to show was a while ago. They've got ref cam. I tell you what, with the ref cam they did have, which I don't know if you guys noticed, was the view of the Szoboszlai free kick against Arsenal was pretty excellent. And we're off at the Emirates. Football is back, thank God. Officially, we've got club football hath returneth. And not a moment too soon, folks. Not a moment too soon. As it's a throw-in for Arsenal. Urian Timber is going to take, and there is Ange on the touchline. Mili Jedinek is one of his, I think he's assistant manager. Of course, fellow Australian. Played for Crystal Palace and others. Bit of a Barclaysman. Jedinek. And it's Morato with the throw. Of course, Forest are missing out on who got injured. Forest injured player. Who was it? Ola Anya, that was it. He got injured. Gabriel. That was a sloppy pass. Hudson-Odoi. I tell you, Gibbs-White. Oh, he tried to reverse pass. I think he maybe should have probably had a shot there. But I wonder if we're just going to get Ange just going in and saying, look, there's not a lot of time for now. Just do what you were doing under Nuno. We'll implement things over time. Or if we're going to get full Ange ball. We'll have to see. Ball over the top. It was attempted to go for Hudson-Odoi, but overhit goes all the way back to David Raya. And we'll see what this press is like from Forest. I mean, it's just kind of set up, isn't it? You've got Ange also managing a team today, playing in white shirts, sort of dark blue shorts. It looks, on the eye, you could easily mistake them for Tottenham Hotspur. At the home of the old enemy. Could be a hell of a story, couldn't it? Madueke tries to turn. I think Madueke's, yeah, it was Eze. It was his foot. It was his boot. Javid says Asna in red, losing 1-0. I'll tell you what, he's lost the ball there. Eze. Here's Gibbs-White. I tell you what, Forest have started pretty brightly. It's only been through. Well, I'll tell you what, that was a loose pass. Got away with that. But they have started relatively brightly so far. Only 3 minutes in. Plenty of time to go. ball over the top. I tell you what, there's a bit of a coming together there between Calafiori and I think it might have been Ndoye. I looked to be in pain, but ref wasn't really having much of it. Yeah, he's holding the back of his calf. It definitely was a coming together. Ndoye, £34 million from Bologna over the summer. The crowd aren't happy, and Ndoye's protesting. You can see it was just a ball over the top, and I think it's a foul, you know, that. Because Calafiori, look, he knows exactly what he's doing. He blocks him off. He's ripped a hole in the back of his socks. I mean, it's a foul. It's not even dark arts. He's leant across him to stop him getting the run on him. I think that's a foul. I can understand why Ndoye would be so frustrated about that one, saying, look, he's just checked me. Put his arm out. You know, collided with my legs. That's a foul, surely. Calafiori maybe gets away with one there. Arsenal have the ball. Gabriel going out to Calafiori again. Eza left it. Oh, it's a good turn by Moreno. Tell you what. Yeah, and Odegaard just tried to force it, but that little dummy there by Eberechi, the touch by Moreno was absolutely brilliant, and that was nice as well from Gabriel, I think that was. Here's Noni Madueke. Cuts inside onto the left foot. Oof. Put the ball in, headed away. Looked dangerous. Elliot Anderson, I tell you what, this is brilliant. And that's just been run out of play by Hudson-Odoi. Had a really good midweek, well, couple of week international spell, didn't he, Elliot Anderson? Already talk about him in the World Cup next year. Of course, we'll be covering that here on the Football Flex as well. Don't you worry, there's going to be, really, as we're now getting, that's got to be a foul. Chris Wood shoved over Gabriel. Yeah, now football season is well underway. We'll have a lot of live streams here on the Football Flex. As I've said, I'm pretty sure we're going to be live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for those Champions League games this week. So we'll have coverage of that here, as well as reactions from Flex coming out of the games. And we got a free kick to Arsenal. So we know what they're capable of from set pieces. 42 set piece goals since the beginning of the 23-24 season. Good grief. Here's Odegaard. Ball in. It's a teaser. Falls to it. Oh, that's a great save by Sales. Foul to Moreno. And I tell you what, that's a top save. Look at that tackle. Oh, it's all going off here. Hudson-Odoi, I tell you what, if you can get that. There's a player down for Arsenal just outside the Forest box. I'm not sure who it is. But Matt Sales with a big save. I'll tell you what, it is Gyökeres. I'll run out for a corner. But we'll see a replay of this. It's a teasing ball in from Odegaard, and it kind of just bounces around, ricochets. And the keeper does the best he can do, which is just spread yourself. Spread yourself, make yourself bigger. Go, comes down to Moreno. Top save. Let's have a look. I mean, keeper does as much as he can do. I'm probably looking at Moreno going, you should score, really. But it's a... Odegaard got taken out by Timber. It was Timber's tackle. And Timber took out the Forest player and also Odegaard. And I think Odegaard's landed on his shoulder again. If you recall, Odegaard got taken off, was it against Leeds? With a shoulder injury. I think he suffered a dislocated shoulder, and it looks like he's landed Is that on the same shoulder? That was the issue before. I think it was. And once the treatment's sorted, they'll have a corner, Arsenal. But it was a good save by Sales. Like I said, you're probably looking at Moreno saying should score. But cause for concern here for Arsenal with the captain down again. If you haven't already, click the like button, folks. Be sure to subscribe to the Football Flex. Like I said, more live streams and reactions coming up this week. It's going to be a busy week of football now that the Champions League is back underway. Of course, Arsenal participating in it this season. Nottingham Forest participating in Europe this season in the Europa League. And just got an opportunity to win back-to-back Europa League titles with different sides. Could you imagine that? And we wait for this corner. Nani Madueke to take. Ball in. Ooh. I was headed wide. I think it was Gabriel. Of course, with no Declan Rice being on the pitch, you get other people taking the set pieces. Gabriel gets away from Ndoye. I tell you what, Ndoye just lets him go. I mean, my goodness me. And I suppose this is the problem. Excuse me. I suppose this is the problem with zonal marking. You see Ndoye there. He's resting with him, and then once Gabriel's gone out of his zone, then he's like, well, he's not my problem anymore. But the issue you then have is you just let a man free. Madueke, or he tried to take on Morato and go straight out for a goal kick. It's the first start for Morato this season, according to the commentary. Big hoof up the pitch and go straight out for a throw. They did mention, Ola Anya. He's out for 3 months. They did sign Zinchenko. That has to be a foul. Well, it's a terrible throw by Calafiori. I mean, I thought it was a foul throw for a second anyway. It was a shocker. Ball in. Oh, I tell you what, that was a good cross. And David Raya actually did really well. It's good goalkeeping. And Ndoye did actually really well. It's a good little fizz across. And David Raya does well. Just takes the sting out of any possible situation that could happen there. That's what you're looking for your goalkeeper, just diffusing situations. And Arsenal, again, I can tell you what, a couple of their passes have been a bit sloppy today, Arsenal. Eleven and a half minutes gone. This is definitely not high line for life, Mike, from Ange. This is kind of the back four line you would expect to see under Nuno, which, to be fair, is the right call from Ange Postecoglou, isn't it? Why on earth would he come in and then just immediately be like, right, you got to play half, your line's got to be on the halfway line. You get ripped apart. Oh, see you later. Madueke skips past Morato. Back post. Ooh, he did really, really well there, Madueke. Morato, I think it's going to be a really long afternoon for him, or long lunchtime. Big up to the waiting room in the chat. But 12 minutes gone. It's been a lively game so far. No, that's a bad pass. But still 0-0. Arsenal did have a big chance. Moreno saved by Sales in the Forest goal. But you have to remember with Ange Postecoglou as well, that Europa League final, Spurs beat Man United just because they kind of wanted it a bit more. And also, critically, it was kind of a tale of two coaches. You had both that, their philosophy is paramount. They don't adapt. They don't change. Ange adapted in that final. Ange adapted, played a bit more pragmatic, and he got himself a trophy because of it. So I don't think it's impossible that Ange Postecoglou, just for the immediate future, I'll tell you what, that was close from Mascara, a pass back to David Raya. I don't think it's impossible that Ange adapts. He let that bounce. Morata's having a stinker. Gyökeres finds Eze, shot, deflected, and Sal scoops up. But I tell you what, Morata at left back, he's really struggling. Look at this. I don't know what he's thinking there. He lets it bounce. Gyökeres pounces on it. He gives it to Eze, and Forest just about kind of get away with it. But Morata, he's struggling against Madueke straight away. He's letting things bounce now. He's all over the place. He really is. I mean, in fairness, he's not, a left back. I'll give him that. But he is struggling. Properly struggling. Exactly. Why would you do that? Big up Daniel Luciano, also in the chat. Says hit the like button if you haven't already, of course. There's a bit of pressure by Gibbs White. It was only really Gibbs White putting the pressure on. So Bamendi was pretty press resistant there. That's a great touch by Calafiori to Odegaard. And that's a heavy pass looking for Gyökeres. Wasn't the best decision by Odegaard either. Big up Matt in the chat. And Linda as well. As Forrest is playing it around the back there. What I like with these streams as well is it gets almost my match fitness ready for the United View streams. Because obviously we'll be live 2 hours before kickoff. I might even go live a little bit earlier tomorrow. Why not? So Manchester Derby. Oh, he just skipped past him like he's not there. Eberechi Eze gave the pass to Odegaard. And actually the pass to Odegaard was maybe a bit soft. But the way he skipped away from the player was impressive by Eze. But it's an enjoyable watch so far. Madueke. This time up against Hudson-Odoi. And it's Elliot Anderson in the end is able to dispossess him. Not Barato, because he's really struggling. There's Edu. Of course, no longer a member of Arsenal. He's the Nottingham Forest global head of football. Odegaard down again. Ethan Wanyeri's coming on. So Odegaard coming off again. Yeah, like I said, he came off against Leeds, didn't he? With that shoulder injury. And I noticed that's what we're looking at. I mean, look at his hand and arms all wrapped up. You can see it. It's that. I think he lands on the same shoulder. Like I said, he did his shoulder against Leeds. I don't know if it's the same side. But if you've had a dislocated shoulder, which I think is what happened before. And what do they say? When you dislocate it once, it's more likely to get dislocated. But again, it depends if it's the same one. If it's the opposite side, I mean, that is a disaster, isn't it? Imagine that. Pop your shoulder out a few weeks before. A few weeks later, you do the other one. That would be a nightmare. But not good news for Arsenal or Odegaard there. You would think that would maybe give them something to think about for their game against Bilbao on Wednesday. Throw in Urian Timber to take. Yeah, I think that's a thing, isn't it, Steffi? I think it is a thing about once you dislocate something, you're more prone, or it's more prone to coming out of place. I think. I've never dislocated anything from what I can remember. Even fingers. I never dislocated a finger playing in goal. I broke them. I Probably broken most of my fingers playing football and like a toe or two. Apart from that, no, I haven't. I've been fortunate not to have any major breaks. That's a good turn by Nwaneri. Here's Madueke. Morata, I mean, and in the end, he just literally was holding on to his shirt over and over again. He's really struggling. They've taken it quick. Nwaneri is into the box. Oh, miscommunication. He missed Urin Timber, but still manages to have the ball. "19 minutes gone, still 0-0. Arsenal really starting to now get a hold of the game. I can show the stats on the screen right there. Arsenal dominating possession. Now, those not even a shot yet from Forest at all. Madueke. Feels like if anyone's going to make something happen for Arsenal, it would be Madueke. But Forest can't even get out their half at the moment. They really can't. Ed the Red makes a good point. My fingers don't have any bones, so it'd be tough to break them. I think that's the good thing with Ed the Red. I mean, Muppet lives matter. Yeah. Okay, Ed. Let's not forget that. Okay. Yes, you are significantly more prone to dislocate a joint again. Madueke, ball in, chipped in. Oh, I get it. If anyone's making something happen for Arsenal, it's Madueke. Because Morata doesn't have a clue against him. He really doesn't. Because I'll be honest, like with Forest, there's the whole thing about high line and what have you. They're just getting like deeper and deeper and deeper. 21 minutes in. Surely they can't sustain this. There they go. Hudson-Odoi loses the ball to Mosquera. Here's Nwaneri. Madueke on the ball again. This time it's Elliot Anderson. He manages to win a throw-in for Forest. You get the impression this could be a long, long day for Morata. Who's going to take the throw here? They're showing ref cam. Anderson loses the ball. Madueke, he's into the box. Oh, I tell you what, Murillo does really well. But it's a corner for Arsenal. Tell you what, a goal's coming. You can feel it. You can feel it. Arsenal, they're just turning the screw a little bit more. Forest are getting deeper and deeper and deeper. 22 minutes gone. You can feel it. But no Declan Rice on the corners today. Here's the set piece coach for Arsenal's out. Waving his hands. Madueke. Cross ball in. Oh, it was a good delivery. Falls out. Oh. So strike in the end from it was Nwaneri, wasn't it? Ball in by Zubimendi. Milenkovic heads it away. Now, Hudson-Odoi. It's a good tackle by Calafiori. They're just Forest just can't get out. They can't get out at all. Every single time it looks like they're just going to at least travel with the ball, even outside of their own half. Arsenal just on them. Or there's no real focal point to hold the ball up. And you can actually see Forest here. They're taking their time with these throws, I think, just to get a bit of reprieve. I'll go out for another Forest throw. Matt says, apparently the Forest players aren't happy with Nuno being fired. I'm sure not, because from their perspective, they'll be like, things were good. They weren't doing bad. Got into Europe. You know, they kind of collapsed towards the end of last season, didn't they? But they had a very good season. He came in at a time as well, which they were struggling. He's got some of those players playing the best football of their career. And it's a clash of egos that's caused Nuno to go, isn't it? Between Nuno, the owner, I think Edu's involved in that too. And but what I don't kind of subscribe to, you know, like when people go, oh, no one will take that job. You know, what they used to say about, like, say, Chelsea, when they go like, oh, no one will take that job because people just keep getting sacked. Managers will always take the job. A manager, if you've got the opportunity to manage a Premier League side, even if the owner is a loose cannon, they'll still take it. Because why won't they? They'll know that it's not a long-term job. Ball in. Aim towards Milenkovic, who's headed away by Jurrien Timber. But, you know, post-Ange, depending on how long he lasts, someone will take that job, because to manage a Premier League team, of course they're going to take it. And you have to have that kind of, you know, deluded self-belief, don't you? Well, it'll be different with me. For the other people, it wasn't, but it'd be different with me. It's part of the game, isn't it? That's good forward play by Chris Wood. Holds it up, lays it off to Hudson-Odoi. That's what he needs to do more of today. That'll be a foul on Elliot Anderson. See, that's just what Forest have needed. They haven't been able just to get a foot on the ball. Now they have. Gibbs White, he's over here. Yeah, he's over here. Just goes out for an Arsenal goal kick. A rare touch for David Raya so far in this first half. 25 minutes gone. No. Oh, bloody hell. Look at that. Next weekend. Liverpool-Everton, Merseyside derby. And then on the Sunday, it's Arsenal versus City. And it's Chelsea versus Man United. Bloody next weekend. It's a screamer, isn't it? It really is. It is a screamer. I think I may have a busy... Well, no, I am going to have a busy weekend, actually, because I've got that. And then after the... Because I've literally... My schedule next weekend is ridiculous. So, Man United. So... Oh, it's Saturday we play. Okay, good. Right, Saturday against Chelsea is 5:30 kickoff. Cool. And when's WrestlePalooza? Right, so yes, this is what my schedule is. Next weekend, I do Man United versus Chelsea. After that, I do AEW All Out. After that, I do WWE WrestlePalooza. Ezra shoots blocked. So potentially that day, I'm looking at like Merseyside derby into Man United Chelsea into All Out into WrestlePalooza. Bloody hell. Yeah. And it's got to be something, isn't it? Hey, do what you got to do. Here's Mascara. Good plays of Mendy. Heavy touch by Gyökeres. Madueke. Gyökeres. Murillo blocks it, puts out for a corner. What is in the chat? Big up says, hey, Owen, just tuned in. How's the game so far? And how did Odegaard get injured? Odegaard seemingly has had maybe a reoccurrence of the shoulder injury that he suffered against Leeds. There was a tackle by Jurrien Timber, went through the Forest player, but also went through Odegaard. Odegaard went up in the air, landed bang on his shoulder. and tried to play on for a little bit, but now he's off. Game so far, it's been an enjoyable watch as we're getting closer to half an hour gone. Arsenal certainly on top, but no goals yet. Madueke, ball in. Ball. I'm not sure where the ball went, who got the last touch. I think it was a Forest player. Just went over the top of the bar. And I tell you what, Madueke, these corners so far today have been really, really good. It's been a little bit made of Declan Rice's deliveries recently, maybe not being as good as we expect. But Madueke, his delivery, these in-swingers from this right-hand side have been really, really good. And he kind of just like chips it. It's an interesting one. There you go. Another one into that sort of 6-yard area. Just makes it dangerous. Another one, ball in. It's a deep one to the back post. And Sales, I think, does really well in the end. Knowing that Gabriel was there, doesn't take a chance, just puts it out for a corner. I think one of the Forest players was trying to question why he did it. I think it was the right decision. Don't take any risks. I mean, I know, obviously, some guy's just got his shirt up. This time on the opposite side, it's going to be Eza taking the corner. Another in-swinger. Right on top of the goalkeeper. And Sals does actually quite well. Madueke is going to... Oh, see you later. Madueke. Oh, he looks... I tell you what, he's having a really good game. Madueke. Absolutely brilliant bit of skill by Madueke. Look at this. See you later. Oh. Look, he's up against Undoy, and it's just a little bit of skill. And he absolutely fakes out Elliot Anderson as well. Cuts the ball back, and it was nearly there for Urian Timber. That is really good play. Again, if anything is going to happen so far today, it's coming through Madueke. He's been absolutely brilliant so far, to be fair. He's had a great international break, and he looks to be in red-hot form, doesn't he? It's going to be another corner for Arsenal. Back on this right-hand side with Madueke to take. Probably going to go right on the goalkeeper again, one would think. No, this one was a bit further out. Edge of the box! Oh, it's in! Martin Zubimendi has just volleyed it straight into the back of the net. Look at the technique. Absolutely sensational by Martin Zubimendi. Good grief. I mean, the technique is just phenomenal. I mean, I want to see how much the keeper sees, because I don't think he sees much of it, because it feels like it's goes in the middle of the goal. But the technique to catch that volley is outrageous. Look at this. Heads it out, edge. Oh, no, yeah. And it swerves, and I think it gets a slight deflection as well. Look at this. Edge of the box. Goalkeeper's onside. Oh, yeah, can't do anything about it. Top volley. Look at this. Edge of the box. Moves his body so he kind of slices it. I don't think the keeper sees it as well. And it gets, a couple of people put a flick on it, and he absolutely leathers it. It's a top goal. It is. It's a top goal. I think if you're looking at the goalkeeper for that, you're doing the technique a disservice. Ref cam, do we see it? Oh, yes, we do. 1-0 Arsenal. Arsenal are a goal up, and they do deserve it. They've been the better team. Forest really haven't offered that much. And if you keep conceding corners against Arsenal, they will punish you. Where does that stem from? It stems from a corner. And now Murillo's down, and this would be another big blow for Forest, because he's been stopping a lot of opportunities in the box. But a reminder for those that are just tuning in to click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Football Flex. Champions League is back this week. We'll be live for games like Bilbao, Arsenal, Liverpool, Atletico, Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. Thursday, Newcastle, Barcelona, or Kevin De Bruyne back at the Etihad. We'll be live for all of those games. We're going to be doing watch-alongs with both matches and 2 scoreboards. It's going to be a whole thing. So we'll be live. Flex will be joining me for a couple of them. We'll have reactions from Flex after the games as well. It's going to be a really busy week here on the Football Flex. But look at that. It's the technique. Swerves away from the goalkeeper as well. Oh, and it just fizzes. Absolutely fizzes. Nani Madueke absolutely loved it. And Madueke's been brilliant. He's been their best player on the pitch, Arsenal. He's been absolutely cooking Morato. And it is deserved. Arsenal deserve to be 1-0 up. Can't argue with that. There's Murillo off for now. He still looks a bit awkward, doesn't he? So you wonder if... I mean, he's their best defender, isn't he? And they've just lost Ola Anya out for 3 months. You would think eventually, surely Ange Postecoglou would go, wherever I go, players are getting injured. So it might be my training methods, perhaps, or it might be my injury management, load management isn't particularly great. Because last year, I mean, the injuries that Spurs had were just ridiculous, weren't they? But a lot of people said that was because of Ange's training methods and injury management. I mean, Murillo's coming on. Look at him. He can barely run. Calafiori turns back. Gabriel, is he going to take a shot? No. And that'll go out for an Arsenal throw. And I mean, it's 10 minutes away, but I mean, Murillo, he can barely move. He can barely move. He's standing on one leg at the moment. Looks like a flamenco. He's going to have to go off. He's going to have to. Yeah, they're making a sub. Long throw by Calafiori. Another volley! Oh, Zubameni. Different technique, different type. This one wasn't the sort of half slice. This one was one where it's coming up from really coming up from high. Look at this. It's a looper. Oh, nearly. Again, completely different technique, but doesn't absolutely smashes it. Just uses the ball's momentum. Unlucky from the midfielder. Yeah, Murillo's coming off. Murillo's down. Of course, we're getting that substitution in a second. Forest only won 6 points from a losing position last season. And again, they've done, from an attacking perspective, Forest have literally done nothing in this first half. I mean, nothing. We can get actually the stats up on the screen for you if you're just to see. Arsenal leading the way in expected goals. Look at this Forest. No shots. Not even shots on target, no shots. No shots on target. No shots inside the box. No big chances. They haven't had a touch inside Arsenal's box. Arsenal, meanwhile, have had 14. Zero. 32% possession. It's not been a pretty viewing for Forest. They've just been really trying to stay in the game, which we did see Ange try and do that in a couple of games with Spurs last season, where he kind of just went, "I'm going to park the bus." Was it against Liverpool at Anfield when he tried to do that and he got absolutely pumped? Liverpool, Tottenham, 24-25 season. It was 5-1. I remember that. Forest free kick. Aimed towards Milenkovic. Referee gives a free kick. Yeah, it was 5-1, wasn't it? Then, of course, there was the semi-final where Spurs were 1-0 up. And he went to Anfield and just parked the bus. Lost 4-0. So a couple of times last year, I remember he played against Liverpool, Ange, and went like, "I'm going to park the bus." And he just got absolutely pumped. It's kind of happening today against Arsenal. I just parked the bus against them, and the Forest have done nothing. They've not had a touch inside of Arsenal's box. Here's Gabriel. Zubamendi. Arsenal now, it's really just when they kill this game off. David Raya, I mean, it's the right idea. Just try and get it out to Madueke. He's going to make stuff happen. He's made stuff happen the entire first half. Sangari was caught. They've played the advantage, and Doy's away. I mean, that is absolutely shit by Ndoye. What on earth was that cross? You've got him behind. You've got an opportunity. Get the ball in the box to your target man. And your cross was shocking. It's going to be an Arsenal goal kick. Going to be under pressure, certainly. But they're going to try and play out from the back. I mean, I'm not really sure what the point of that was. Because, I mean, they looked like they were trying to press them, but they kind of didn't. Arsenal give the ball away, though. And that'll be a corner. Forest have got a corner. A rare opportunity to score for Forest. Still only 1-0. You got to make these kind of opportunities count. Got to make them mean something. Got to be Elliot Anderson to take. Chris Wood and the like in the box. Outswinger. Headed away by Gabriel. And they're going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. And that corner has to be better. If you're not going to have this much of the ball and you are relying on set pieces or counterattacks, you have to be clinical. That's a ball through. Is he onside? Ndoye? Flag stayed down. I mean, he looked off. Hudson-Odoi. See, the question is, like, if he was... When would you put the flag up then if he was off? Anderson. Oh, they've lost the ball. Anderson. Yeah, rare bit of the ball for Nottingham Forest here. Don't see this that often in this game. Hudson-Odoi again. Oh, is that a corner? A goal kick. They're appealing for a corner. I mean, it looked like Hudson-Odoi just fizzed the ball way too hard. I mean, they're adamant that it's a corner. Let's have a look. I think Madueke does get a touch. Maybe they were right. Gabriel. There you go. Gyökeres lays it off to Calafiori. Oh, Calafiori puts it out for a throw. Just misplaced the pass to Eze and it goes out for a throw. Forest lose the ball again. Nwaneri this time wins it back for Arsenal. Zubamendi, Timber. Madueke's into the box. Cuts inside. Maybe wasn't the right decision. I think he should have gone around the outside of him. One of the first times Forest have actually defended well against him in this game. think Morato's at centre-back now, which he's probably relieved by. Gibbs-White, haven't seen much of him today either. Here's Dan and Doy, some space to run into. Gibbs-White. And one of the first times Forest actually have a bit of the ball right before half-time. If they could get equalised, now would be the perfect time to do it, wouldn't it? But Arsenal look pretty secure and solid behind the ball. But we've barely, I tell you what, we've not really seen anything from ref's going to give a foul. We've not really seen anything from Gyökeres, have we? Not really seen anything from Gyökeres in this game. Well, I've unplugged my light. There you go. I've got so many leads under here that I just kick them during the game. There you go, Hudson-Odoi. Williams. Blocked by Urian Timber. Still, I don't think they've had a touch in the opposition box. No, 0. I mean, the stats for the first half for Forest are, pretty ridiculous. 0 expected goals, 0 shots on target, 0 shots inside the box, 0 big chances, 0 touches in the opposition box. Anderson, that's good feet. Look at that. He looks so comfortable. Gibbs-White. Wood. Oh, good one too. Oh, that was a chance. That was a chance. That was your touch inside the opposition box for Morgan Gibbs-White. And look at Ange. He's got his head in his hands because he knows. Anderson was brilliant. Oh, I tell you what, that layoff by Chris Wood there is absolutely sensational. And Timber just does enough. To put him off. But that build-up play, it was the feet from Elliot Anderson at first, gives it to Gibbs-White, travels, lays off to plays it to Chris Wood with a brilliant layoff. That'd have been a top goal. Forest did get their chance. Just couldn't make it count. You've got 7 minutes of stoppage time. Bloody hell. You got your 10 attempts from Arsenal, 3 on target to just 1. That Gibbs-White chance. As I said, only 2 touches inside the opposition box. That could have been all it took. Madueke cuts in. Oof, headed away. I mean, you really can. OJ says it there in the chat, and it is true. You can see why people are raving about Elliot Anderson. He looks. I mean, in this Forest team today, and just in general with the Arsenal players on the pitch, he doesn't look out of place at all, does he? I mean, you've got some real top quality technical players on the pitch today, particularly in the middle of the park. You know, you've got your Zubamendi's, and you've got obviously Moreno's a tidy player. You've got you had Odegaard out there earlier on, and Elliot Anderson totally confident, left foot, right foot, totally press resistant. He's a top player. And it's one of those ones, isn't it, where Newcastle they didn't want to sell Elliot Anderson as well. They didn't want to, but it was a PSR situation, wasn't it? PSR situation comes through the Newcastle Academy, and they have to sell him just to make sure they don't get in trouble for PSR. Sell him to Forest. They get the pure profit, £35 million. was interested in this. A reported fee of £35 million. A later article in the Daily Telegraph had the transfer fee as around 15 million. I tell you what, if it was 15 million, chance nearly for Arsenal. Gyökeres nearly got his opportunity. Arsenal looking a bit sharper. But 15 or 35, still top business. And I bet Newcastle, they must be pissed at being like selling a player of that quality. If you haven't already, click the like button. We're 8 likes away from 50 likes. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new. As I said, it's going to be a busy week here on the Football Flex. We've got Champions League football back, so we're going to be live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for some big matches. Nearly lost the ball. Did Forest, but just get away with it. We've got 7 minutes of stoppage time. You kind of get the impression that sort of everyone on the pitch is just kind of waiting for halftime to come, frankly. Long ball out to Eze. Here's Ndoye. He's just actually switched sides. He's been on the right. Now he's on the left. Cuts it back. Gibbs White. Of course, I say best chance, only chance that Forest have had in this game. Ndoye again. And Calafiore, he's now switched positions with Ndoye, hasn't he? He's on the other side of the pitch. Anderson heading towards the final minute of stoppage time. Remember, 7 minutes added on. And, a rare bit of possession for Forest. Anderson. Good switch over to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi cuts inside. I think maybe he's thinking about a shot. Elliot Anderson. I think the flag had... I think flagged for offside, maybe? Oh, it's a foul. Is he saying there was a foul? You're saying there was a foul on Timber. We wait for the halftime whistle. Arsenal 1-0 up. I think it looks like Andrew's game plan is just to stay in the match as long as he possibly can. But Forest really haven't offered much of anything. And there you go. That is halftime. Halftime at the Emirates. And Ange Postecoglou is off for his first team talk as Nottingham Forest manager. Arsenal deservedly in front. I mean, it's been an enjoyable game, a good game to watch. Aside from the Gibbs White chance, Nottingham Forest really haven't participated that much in it. It's an absolutely brilliant goal from Zubimendi. Great technique, great volley, little bit of a deflection on the way from one or two Forest players. I don't think the keeper can do much about it, swerving away from him. And he nearly got another volley, which was a completely different technique. But Arsenal deservedly in front. I think Madueke looked really sharp for about 40 minutes or so up against Morato. He really struggled, but now he's into centre back. after Murillo had to come off through injury and Savona's come on. Odegaard coming off will probably be a cause for concern for Arsenal. Yet again, looks to be a shoulder issue. Did have a shoulder issue against Leeds. Don't know if it's the same shoulder, but he came down heavily after a tackle by Jurrien Timber. Went through not only the Forest player, but also the Arsenal captain. But Arsenal have been good value for their lead. They deserve it. We can get the stats up on the screen, actually, for you. You can see them specifically. Which one am I going to go for? This one. As you can see, Arsenal deserve their goal, expected goals. Forest, just the one shot, which was that Gibbs-White effort, which was a really good move. Can't argue with that. It was a good move. But aside from that, nothing. That was their only shot inside the box. They've only had 2 touches inside the opposition box. That was Chris Wood and that was Gibbs-White. It was Chris Wood laying it off to Gibbs-White and Gibbs-White having that shot that Jurrien Timber came in, just did enough to put him off. Aside from that, they've really not offered all that much. Arsenal, nearly 60% of the possession to Forest, just over 40. I think that actually probably flatters Forest as well. The last, sort of 10 minutes, because that was 7 minutes of stoppage time. Last sort of 10 minutes, Arsenal, I think, were just like, let's just get to half time. Just don't concede, don't do anything silly here. So Forest had a little bit more of the ball. So I don't think that's totally reflective, because for the majority, Arsenal have had pretty much all the ball. And yeah, they've got to come out in the second half, don't they? They've got to come out in the second half. Forest at some point. It'll be interesting to see once we get to full time. We can compare the first half to the second half and see what they have to say. If you're looking at attacking, who's been the player that's had the highest XG? Interestingly enough, it's been Victor Gyökeres in the first half for Arsenal. That he's had the most XG. Martin Zubimendi, he's got the goal, of course, but he had an XG of just 0.09, showing how unlikely it was that you can pull off that technique and get the goal. Gyökeres has had a couple of shots and a couple of shots inside the box and touches in the opposition box. But this is what's really interesting about stats and stuff like this, because I think if you were watching that first half, you would probably go like, was Gyökeres really that involved? I mean, he had a couple of moments, but nothing really, I would say, super, super special. I still think he looks a bit, I don't know. It feels like to me, and this is completely as a neutral, but it feels like to me sometimes watching Arsenal that they've sort of played without a bona fide number 9 for so long that when an actual striker goes in there, it kind of looks like he doesn't fit a little bit. It kind of looks a bit awkward because the role for him is just be between the centre backs and these people like Madueke and Odegaard, Martinelli, and whoever to make chances for you. They'll make these opportunities for you, and he kind of looks a bit like awkward in there, So we'll see if he gets his goal in the second half. Forest, meanwhile, their XG was that Gibbs-White chance. That just goes to show. That's all it's been in this half of Forest. That's it. It's just been that. So yes, Arsenal ahead, deservedly so. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. What are you guys saying in the chat? Akeem says Forest really poor attacking. OJ says Ange already fighting for his life. Well, I do get it. In Ange, he probably is thinking, look, I've got a way that I like to play. I've only just come in. It's going to take time. Now is not maybe the time to be asking them to do all of this stuff, because if I ask them to do that away at Arsenal, my first game, we're going to get ripped apart. So I'm just going to tell them get behind the ball and then play for set pieces, play on the counter attack, see what happens. But the problem with that is that's never really worked for Ange. I bring up the games last season against Liverpool, where they 1-0 up in the Carabao Cup. They go to Anfield, park the bus, lose 4-0. Do the same thing against Liverpool at Anfield, park the bus, where they lose 5-1. The one time that he did adapt and it worked for him was Europa League final. So maybe he was thinking the same thing. But I still don't know how he's going to implement that, Ange ball, the high line for life might, at Forest. I just don't think they've got the players to do it. I really don't. And they've already got injuries. Ole Anya's out for 3 months. There's had Murillo come off in this game, their best defender. So those narratives surrounding Ange of can't really manage players' injuries very well and what have you, looking pretty real, aren't they? Postmanton says lots of new signings in the Arsenal lineup. Takes time to click. Well, look, there's going to be pressure on Victor Gyökeres, and there should be, by the way. We see it at Man United. Every new signing, pressure comes on. Victor Gyökeres is no different. Big money move from Sporting, player that has scored a bunch of goals the last few seasons, and the expectation would be surely that he should be scoring goals in this league, in this team. But I do agree that it will take maybe a little bit of time. Ed the Red says Noni over Gyökeres. I think Madueke's had a really good first half. I mean, he had a good international break. Fortunately, almost for Morato, he's gone to centre back because Murillo's come off. But you had Morato absolutely on toast a bunch of times. The standout player really for Forest in that first half has been Elliot Anderson once again. I mean, I know Gibbs White had the opportunity, but I'm seeing huge amounts of him. It's really Elliot Anderson that I'm looking at in that Forest team. And I'm going to tell you what, he does not look out of place at all. He could go into that Arsenal midfield. He could go straight into that Arsenal midfield. He could go into, I think, quite a lot of midfields in the Premier League. He looks to be a really, really top player, doesn't he? Matt says, Owen, give us your odds on a Forest second half comeback. Well, look, as someone who lived this and experienced this last season, Matt, as a Man United fan, who one of my favorite phrases last season was, it's only 1-0. It's only 1-0. As long as Forest keep it as only 1-0, you're still in the game, aren't you? You're still in the game. And as the game goes on, from the Arsenal perspective, that little bit does creep into your head, doesn't it? Of going, we haven't really killed the game off. We haven't killed that game off. It's still only 1-0. And all it takes is a mistake or a set piece or something like that. So as long as they're still in it, it's only a goal, only 1-0 down. OJ says we need to grab Anderson. He's a top player and ticks almost all the boxes of what we lack in midfield. Look, if Man United could sign Elliot Anderson, I'd be a big fan of that. Like I said, I think he's got everything. I think he's got, when we're talking about having, being mobile or agile enough in the middle, progressing the play, being able to play left foot, right foot, but also being able to get up and down and being able to press players. I think he's got it all. And this is also why when we were talking about Mason Mount the other day on the morning view on United View, flexing myself, and I was sort of saying that, if you were going to compare Elliot Anderson to say Mason Mount right now, I think everyone would be like, well, I'd have Elliot Anderson over Mason Mount. Easy. There are so many midfielders now ahead of Mason Mount when it comes to just like English midfielders getting into the World Cup squad. There are loads ahead of him. And not just like, because they're playing and he's not, but he's actually better than them. No, there are loads ahead of him because they're better than him. Like Elliot Anderson's a great example. Anderson, Wharton, they're ahead of him. They just are. And he looks to be a really impressive player. If anything's going to happen for Forest today, you get the impression it probably starts with Anderson, like it did for that opportunity. It was the Gibbs White and Chris Wood link up, but it started from Elliot Anderson, having a bit of space, traveling with the ball, gives it to Gibbs White. Gibbs White gives it to Chris Wood. Great layoff, and Gibbs White nearly scores. But it all starts from Elliot Anderson. So, I think he's a top player. And if anything's going to happen, probably going to be from him. If you haven't already, click the like button, folks. Be sure to subscribe as well. We're at 50 likes. So if you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe. Seeing this is a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Interesting. One battle after another. Oh, there you go. You see all the trailers. What other big films are set to come out this year? Are there any more like superhero ones coming out this year? I feel like we've had them all. Superhero movies 2025. Are they all out? I'm looking through the list. Oh, I tell you what, next year it's a big one, isn't it? Next year it's a big one. You've got Supergirl, June 26, 2026. Then the month after that, you've got Spider-Man 4, which they're filming at the moment, aren't they? That'll be good. Then September, you've got Clayface, which they're filming right now. Because I saw some footage online of them filming it at the moment, which is that'll be interesting. And then at the end of the year, just a week before Christmas, December 18th, 2026, Avengers Doomsday. Whoa. Yeah, it got delayed, didn't it? But yeah, that one's because I tell you what as well, when it comes to like the superhero genre, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of burnt out on it. Like, and I do think it has kind of peaked. It peaked, let's be honest, it peaked with Endgame, didn't it? Everything post Endgame, bar a couple of exceptions, like for instance, Spider-Man. Was it No Way Home? Was that the last one? Spider-Man 3, what was that? Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home. Aside from that, everything else has been pretty shit. And some of them I have liked. So I watched both Superman and Fantastic Four this year. I liked both. I do think they were both problematic. I thought I'd probably say I like Superman better than the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four was okay, but it was all right. But it wasn't amazing. Superman was good. There were some parts of it I thought were really good. Some parts not so great. But yeah, since Endgame, nothing's really been all that. Which is why they're bringing everyone back, isn't it? That's why Robert Downey Jr. is back. What's the way that it's like, isn't he dead? Well, just bring back another character. Why? Do we need people to go watch? So so I'm looking forward to that. I will watch that. And then what's coming out in 2027? You got Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. The Superman sequel has already been announced, Man of Tomorrow. The Batman 2. Good grief. I mean, he's going to be like the oldest, youngest Batman ever, isn't he? Robert Pattinson by that point. Because that'll be 5 years since the Batman. Good grief. And then at the end of that year, December 17th, 2027, you've got Avengers Secret Wars. Which I think then Marvel will once again have the problem of how do you follow that? Like we were saying, the problem is with the Avengers Endgame, it was brilliant, but it was kind of like, how do you follow that? And their answer was not very well. So they'll do it again with Avengers Doomsday and the Avengers Secret War is, how do you follow that? And again, the answer will be probably not very well. So, yeah. Akeem says you follow it by stopping, but they can't. Got to make money. Got to keep making films. There's certainly no plan to stop. Unless they say, like, Secret Wars is just a big, massive reset. Like, just complete reset, and they just start over again. Different actors, different everything, maybe. But then, do you have any interest in going to watch a Iron Man with someone that isn't Robert Downey Jr., but is playing Tony Stark? You kind of have to let these things rest for a little bit, don't you? As we wait for the second half to kick off, Arsenal are going to be restarting the game for us. And we're off. Bugsy says after Secret Wars is mutant side. Yes, that's probably what they're going to do. You're right. They're kind of deliberately holding all of that back, aren't they? A lot of the mutants, X-Men stuff. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of the Fox X-Men are in Doomsday. They've already been announced, haven't they? But I think you're right, Bugsy. I think then they very much explore the whole mutant aspect of it all. So it'll be interesting to see who gets cast as what in that. And really like that joke in Deadpool that they really will have Hugh Jackman playing it to his 90. Ezra's in behind, cuts it across! And there is Victor Gyökeres. And like I said, they just needed someone to create a chance for him. I said, I wonder, it's a bit awkward because they've got to just sort of wait to make chances for him. And that's exactly what's happened. There you go. That's exactly what I was saying about making those chances. And then it was Eberechi Eze did it. Exactly what he was looking for. 2-0 Arsenal. That is game over. Absolute game over. I mean, might as well finish the match, finish the stream now. Done. Because Forest ain't coming back. That's not happening, is it? Let's be honest. Not coming back. Yeah, it's done. 2-0. And as it'd be exactly what Mikel Arteta wanted, wouldn't it? That'd be exactly what he was looking for. It was really, I tell you what, it was a good ball in behind. Eze cuts it back. And as a striker, that's what you would have wanted. Indeed. Which is, I tell you what, it's good as well. It's a perfect time for my TNT to just stop working. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And I've got to do the whole bloody thing. I've got to switch to Discovery Plus, which is always fun. Now, Ed the Red says, "Have asked me for the one to final one standing." Yep. Is that for the original one as well? Is that for the original 500k as well, Ed the Red? Because if that is the case, you're laughing. 3-2-0. There you go. I will be back shortly with my feed. As Max said, so much for a comeback. Yeah, it's gone well, hasn't it? It's gone well, Matt. It's gone very well for you. You've jinxed it. Everyone blame Matt. It's his fault. In the chat. It's live. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Football Flex. There's any moment now my TNT will start working again, which is always you always love it when just mid-match just stops working, because who needs to watch the game really, particularly when they just score? Who needs to? There you go. Max said he's doubling down. Said he's hoping. There you go, it's back. Nearly at 50 minutes gone. Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Goals from Zubimendi and Gyökeres. That goes back to David Raya. And she's sent out some subs, but I think it's kind of redundant at this point. And to be honest with you, mate, you've lost. And I could say, well, only it's a long way to go, but you have. I mean, you've lost. You've lost. Here's Calafiori. Travels with the ball. No, good play from Elliot Anderson, who again, who's it start from Elliot Anderson? And Doy. Oh, it's hit the bar. Bloody hell. I was off the chest. Oh, Hudson Odoi. Oh. I tell you what, I think it came off Wood's chest. I don't think he knew anything about it, but bloody hell. Here's Madueke. Ranieri shoots. That goes wide. But Forest almost just with a unbelievable equalizer. It would have been, frankly, just completely bizarre. Look at this, off his chest. I tell you what, and it's a save. I think it's a save from David Raya. Look at this. Did he get a touch? This gets a touch. That is a brilliant save by David Raya. I mean, there's a lot of brilliance there. There's the reaction from Chris Wood just to chest it, and David Raya just tips it onto the bar. That is an unbelievable save from the Arsenal goalkeeper. Wow. He is a really good goalkeeper. I remember before we played Arsenal at Old Trafford last year, and I was saying on the pre-match on United View, I was saying that David Raya for me was in conversation when you're talking about the best goalkeepers in the Premier League and maybe the world. David Raya, he's not the best, but he's in the conversation. He's a top goalkeeper. People are like, no, he's not. You're just twerking for opposition players. That's what you're doing. David Raya's a good goalkeeper. I mean, last season he made some absolutely ridiculous saves. Dan and Doy. And Forest get a free kick. Just seeing a replay of this goal. They get the automated offside graphic. It was a close one, wasn't it? Loses flight of it. It's good play. It's really good play by Eza. And Gyökeres, that'll be exactly what he's looking for. Free kick, though. Elliot Anderson to take for Forest. And Postecoglou looking pensive as he looks on. Anderson to take. Ball in. It looked like it was going to be good for a second, but it was a bit too deep in the end. Goes straight out for a throw. It's going to be an Arsenal throw here. There's a volley to Zubimendi, but that went straight to a Forest player that time. But I mean, Arsenal will be very happy. 2 summer sidings, 2 goals. Zubimendi, Gyökeres. An assist by Eza to Gyökeres as well. Oof. Wasn't a bad ball. He's aiming for Ndoye. Just a bit over hit. Now Arsenal just in total control of the game, really. I mean, it's if you're Forest, that goal, literally at the start of the second half, is the worst thing because it just kills the game off. Now, if you're Ange, I think you just don't get embarrassed. I mean, if you can get a goal back, then I guess you never know. Just doesn't look like it, does it? Gabriel, Calafiori. Little flick, but Eza, that's brilliant. Marino cuts it back. Oh, fired over by Wanyeri, but it's a brilliant move by Arsenal. Look at this. Eza. He's top player, isn't he? He really is. I think that Crystal Palace team, I think in a few years' time, they're going to look back on that and be like, how many good players did Palace have? I think they're going to be like, there was a period of time where they had, Wilfred Zaha, Elise, Eza, Mateta. Just like a really good team of players. Wharton, Calafiori, Madueke. Oh, it skips past. Oof. Nearly. C1 Chaos has never heard of Mascara, but he is so good. He looks really comfortable, doesn't he? I mean, previously, Saliba got injured or suspended or whatever. I mean, there was that season when they're going head-to-head with City, and the suggestion was that Saliba gets injured, they start dropping points. That's what cost them the title that year, right? I mean, looks like now you get Saliba coming out of the side, and it's not going to phase him as much. They've got Mascara in there. And that's not just because it's playing Forest. I mean, he did well against Liverpool at Anfield. It's as hard as it gets. It's just good strength by Gabriel. As it tries to skip past Anderson, manages to get past him. Here's Gyökeres. He's going to run up against him. Gyökeres gets it out to Madueke. Goes for the overlap. Gyökeres. Oh, he's hit the post. Whew. He's starting to feel it, isn't he? He's starting to feel it. And I tell you what, he does well there because he starts the move. He starts it and he nearly finishes it. Madueke, not selfish. And he absolutely smashes it off the post. But he's unlucky. He just smashes it. But it's a good move by Arsenal. And he's starting to look a bit more comfortable, isn't he, Gyökeres? He's got his goal, settling. Probably getting his fitness as well. He had a very disrupted preseason, didn't he? But Forest really not done much to lay a glove on Arsenal. Hudson-Odoi coming off. Hudson-Odoi and Wood off. Bakwa and Kalimwendo are on. These are new signings for Nottingham Forest. He's Ange maybe realizing the job he's got in his hands. Not to say that I don't think Forest are going to be in trouble this season, because I don't think they will. Here's Eza. Calafiori. Oh, is too far in front of all of the Arsenal players. Oh, but they do have really dangerous players in there now, Arsenal, don't they? They've got Eza. They've got Madueke. They've got Gyökeres. Obviously, got Bukayo Saka to come back into this team. You've got people like Zubimendi who are going to keep it ticking. I think there could be a conversation about, Odegaard, if he doesn't get his injury issues sorted, because Arsenal have looked very fluid with this midfield. Lehman says, Owen, do you expect Ugarte to reach Zubimendi level? Absolutely not. Ugarte, he's not even a comparison to Zubimendi. I mean, Zubimendi's technique is, in terms of passing, ball retention and what have you, is pretty flawless, isn't it? Ugarte can't pass the ball. That's like, he's a footballer whose passing range is very, very limited. So it's not even really a comparison. Good feet by Marino. And that's gone out for a Forest throw. Douglas Luiz looked like he was going to come on, but maybe not. Forest have lost it. Marino out to Gyökeres. Oh, he lost it there. Given away by Sangari this time. They've just been really sloppy with the ball as well, Forest. Arsenal, there's been, apart from one or two moments in this game, Arsenal have just been totally comfortable. Totally comfortable. And I say comfortable. Arsenal, they haven't even had to get out of second or third gear, if I'm being really honest. They've made some good moves, but they've been totally in control. It's Madueke. I got to go out for a corner. No, keeps it involved. You're in Timber. Oh, Madueke been just onside. Ball in, headed away. Gabriel, good strength. Yeah, they're just proper in cruise control now, Arsenal. Proper purring as the rain starts to lash down in North London. It's just very, very easy. Zubimendi gives the ball away there, though. But then just wins it back straight away. Sangari just took too long on the ball. Easy for Arsenal to get it back. Easy. They said it on commentary there, saying the game's kind of passed the Sangari by, and it really has. But what I do think is this, Arsenal, is this is a really impressive performance from them. These are the kind of performances you expect from sort of people that are going to be challenging for the title, where at home against teams that other teams will struggle against. Like, teams will struggle against Forest at home this season, but they've just dealt with them with relative ease. The second half start, they were clinical, killed the game off, didn't allow it to even potentially get away from them, and are well worth their 2-0 value. Can't really argue against that. You've got, they've got strength in depth, Arsenal as well. Saliba out, no problem. Mascara's in there, he's been excellent. Captain is injured again. Odegaard, no problem. Declan Rice, he's been on the bench today. Declan Rice hasn't even got on yet. And they've had a midfield that's still dominating with Zubimendi, with Moreno. Nwaneri's come in there. So they've absolutely got options. Here come Arsenal again. Noni Madueke, space. He's going to go past Nico Williams. Oof. And I tell you what, for all of the I say criticism, but sort of befuddlement about why did Arsenal sign Madueke? It's a bizarre signing. They're just signing another Chelsea player again. It's blah blah blah. He's been really dangerous today. He's been really dangerous. Obviously did well for his country in the international break. And with Bukayo Saka being injured, they've already proved why it was the right call to sign him. He's been on corners as well. So Madueke to stand over this corner. Ball in. Near post towards Calafiori. Oh, it's by Gyökeres. And Matt Sales had to make sure. Is that another corner? Are they saying it's offside? They're saying the ball went out. They're saying he's offside. 66 minutes gone. 2-0 Arsenal. And still a lot of the game to play. I mean, about 25 minutes left. And I think it's just a case of, can Forest get anything to kind of make something happen? Or are Arsenal going to get more and really embarrass Ange on his return to North London? That's the question, isn't it? Corner for Forest. A rare foray into the Arsenal half. See if anything happens here. Ball in. Near post, and it was headed away, I think, by Calafiori in the end. If you haven't already clicked the like button, be sure to subscribe to the Football Flex. As Calafiori's coming off. Lewis Skelly coming on. Again, talk about the strength in depth. They've certainly got it, haven't they? No doubt about that. And Declan Rice coming on for Victor Gyökeres. So who's going to go up front? Probably Mikel Merino. So Merino goes back up front again, and Declan Rice slots into midfield. And he's been given some bit of energy. Merino. He's going to say, man, you got to have to chase some players. It's going to be a throw for Forest. I mean, they were saying that nearly went out for an Arsenal throw there. We're 3 likes away from 70 likes. If you haven't already clicked the like button, be sure to subscribe to the Football Flex if you're new. A reminder, we'll be live probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week for those Champions League games. There's going to be a lot of live streams and reactions coming up. It's going to be a busy one. And the only, I think, shining light for Ange coming out of this game so far today would be that, you know, they've got a player in Elliot Anderson. That's what they can say. You know, they've got a player in Elliot Anderson. He's making them tick. But everyone else is just completely absent. Ball in. That's good. Oh, tell you what, that's a really good header by Mosquera. I'll tell you what, that is a really good ball in. And Mosquera, he dealt with that no problem at all. Now he just plays a really good pass to Declan Rice. Mosquera, he's been brilliant today. You can't argue against it, can you? He has been absolutely top-notch. Here's Eberechi Eze. It's wasteful in the end. But it was actually good play by Forest. Good cross in. And it's a difficult one for the defender to deal with because it's at that height where maybe you go and head it, but it's still close to the floor. But Mosquera just out of it, no issues at all. once again, seems like a really shrewd bit of business by Arsenal, isn't it? Because he's come in, replaced Saliba, and Arsenal haven't missed a beat at all. If anything, you asked the question a little bit, don't you? Of if when they're all fit, like, was Mascara going to be like, oh, am I going to be playing games? I suppose there's a lot of competitions, right? Timber. But looks very comfortable. Ranieri. Out to Madueke again. Madueke cuts inside. He might be looking for a goal himself now. Oh, does really well. Jurien Timber. Oh, probably should be 3-0. Declan Rice nearly. But Madueke again, he looks so dangerous. He holds the ball up really, really well. Look, holds the ball up really well. Timber makes the run. Great weight of pass by Madueke. And it's just a bit too far ahead of Declan Rice. You can't even really see it. But I think it's a really good run by Jurien Timber. Madueke does really well actually to hold the ball up. I thought he was going to be, is he going to be greedy? But no, he was waiting for the run. Really unselfish of him. And like I said, they've got what they do have now, Arsenal, is they do have the ability to rotate. Before, a few years ago, wasn't it? It was like Arteta barely changed his team throughout the entire season. You knew exactly who was going to play, and there was like a select group of players that would maybe come in if he was forced to make the change. Now you're talking about, well, if Saliba's injured, it's not a problem. If Odegaard's injured, it's not a problem. And Kai Havertz is injured, it's not a problem. They've brought on, Lewis Skelly. They've brought on Declan Rice in this game. Who else have they still got on the bench? They still got the likes of Martinelli. Bukayo Saka, he's injured, no problem. Which again is something to be said, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it adds extra pressure on Arsenal, but the pressure's there anyway. When you've been the runner-up the last 3 years in the Premier League, the next step is to go and win it. It's no longer good enough just to be in the race. So once you add to that squad that's been capable of finishing second for 3 years, the expectation is that they win it. And that's not going to be easy because the current champions just spent 400 million on players. As I was looking for the pass, but nobody was there. Just over 15 minutes to go. 2-0 to Arsenal. Very, very confident. Deserved it. I've been a little bit disappointed with Forest. I won't lie. I mean, I'm not sure what I was expecting. But I think if this was Nuno managing Forest, I think they would have delivered a bit more today. I know this is a very good Arsenal side, but I think Forest still would have had a bit more about them. Do get the impression that they're teetering, Forest, don't you, at the moment, of like that whole situation and stuff, and with Nuno leaving could lead to them having just a disaster of a season, or they'll be all right. But I don't know. Madueke. I mean, I suppose, look, this is a Forest team that lost, was it like 3-0 to West Ham in their last game? So it's not as if they were turning up trees, pardon the pun. Anyway. Losing at home 3-0 to West Ham, yeah. It was pretty brutal. Corner to Arsenal once again. Going to be Madueke to take it. He's taken quite a few, hasn't he, so far today? In swinger. God, it was a shocking delivery. It was not good. Barely got off the floor. And look at that. Just Gabriel, good defending and a great pass as well. They've got such strength in defence, Arsenal, don't they? Really resolute back four, and now an ability to swap players in and out of it. You've got Calafiori and Lewis Skelly on one side. You've got Gabriel, Saliba, Mascara on the other in the centre-back positions, excuse me. Got Uri and Timber can play both sides. Eberechi Eze in that team now, who's a game changer. Eze. C1 Chaos says, who's on your WWE/WWF Mount Rushmore? Well, I think you have to go with sort of the faces of respective generations. I think you probably look at Bruno Sammartino of the 70s of the WWF. Even as obviously there's a lot of controversy with him for a variety of reasons, but I don't think you can do a Mount Rushmore without Hulk Hogan, just for what he did for the industry in the 1980s. I mean, it's so transformational. Oh, it's a foul on Madueke. So I think he probably has to be on. I think Stone Cold Steve Austin, for just how important he was at that time. I mean, WWE could have gone out of business in the 1990s. They were getting the hell beaten out of them by WCW, and Austin becomes the hottest thing. And it's not even for a long period of time as well. I mean, he gets like red hot in sort of 96 into 97. He's retired by 2003, and he effectively was retired from 2002. His run was like 5 years. It's insane. Madueke getting a standing ovation, and it's entirely deserved. He's been excellent, absolutely excellent. So I think you go Sammartino, Hogan, Austin, and then I think you could say Cena, just for longevity, money drawn, money made. Between Cena and The Undertaker for the final spot, because obviously Undertaker, it's across so many different generations. He was in Golden Generation. He was in Attitude Era, well, New Generation, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, into PG Era. Ball in. Header! 3-0. 3-0. Zubimendi with a second. A volley and a header for Zubimendi. It's 3-0 Arsenal, and it's entirely deserved. It really is. It's not been pretty for Ange today. I think it's been complete domination. Complete and total domination. Arsenal lead 3-0. Ange watches on. And this is a kind of performance you expect of a team that's going to be challenging for the title. Just outclassing them. Outclassing them. Looks like he's onside as well. There's a cross by. There's a header onto Williams as well. And it's a cross from Trossard. I mentioned these players that they can bring on. It's a really good header as well. Lescom says, how is The Rock not in your top 4? Because The Rock's a funny one. Because obviously, look, The Rock was a very big star in wrestling. But he's a lot of his stardom's from outside of it. You know what I mean? He wasn't in WWE for a super long period of time. And he got to the top at a time where the business was already hot, and because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it's kind of, that's why. the Rock's this sort of cross, platform megastar, but it's like Stone Cold kind of laid the table for him to get to the top at that period of time, if that makes sense. It's not to take away from his stardom or what have you, but Rocky was only in from 96 to, I mean, he became part-time effectively in 2002. So he's like there for like 6 years. He was on top from 97 when he wins his first championship. So it's a short run. And then he kind of comes back and forth. But in terms of to WWE, it's like don't get me wrong, a lot of business, sold a lot of tickets, did really well for WWE. But I don't know if he was as important at a time that Stone Cold was. Like when Austin went away because of his neck injury in 99 and Rock and Triple H were on top, it was just like, can you just sustain what we've got going on here? Because we've built it to this point, but Austin was integral in that. That's my feeling anyway. And then we're talking about other people on that list, like, say, The Undertaker's longevity as well. Bakwa, McAtee. Now Arsenal will just be like, oh, can we make a statement and not concede as well? Is Timber, Rice, Trossard. I mean, Martinelli actually slipped, didn't he? But again, the players that they've got to bring on Arsenal, you look at the subs that they've made today, players that they've brought on, Lewis Skelly, Martinelli, Nwaneri, Declan Rice, Trossard. They could bring on Ben White if they wanted to in defence. They got the young Max Dowman as well. They got real strength and depth for Arsenal this season. That's going to be their weapon. Matt says, Matt says, shout out to Randy Orton. I think in terms of heels, his late 2000s run was elite. Randy Orton, for me, is this, at this stage, I think he's like the new sort of Undertaker of the dressing room in WWE, of just this guy that's been around forever. I mean, Randy Orton's, let's play out, ball across goal. Yeah, Orton's been around for over 20 years. He's openly like, yeah, I'm still going to wrestle for like probably a decade more. He's been there, seen there, done it all. Got total respect. He's not full time, but certainly you look at his compatriots of when he debuted. He debuted in 2002 on the main roster. Cena's in his retirement year now, who debuted in the same year. Brock's probably going to retire next year, I think. He debuted in 2002. Batista's been retired for several years. Randy Orton's younger than all of them, but it's like The Undertaker was, I think, mid-20s when he debuted for WWE. Randy Orton was kind of the same. So Orton's like that locker room leader guy now, who's just been around forever, been there, seen there, done it all. Total respect, everyone has for him. Free kick to Arsenal. There is Bukayo Saka and Saliba. I mean, they've got that. And was it Nkapie from Bayer Leverkusen as well? They signed. They got so much strength and depth, Arsenal now. Scary. I mean, we're Man United fans. We're talking about, okay, we're going to bring off the bench. What we're going to do? Certainly have options. 5 minutes to go. Arsenal 3-0 up. Oh, ooh. It was heavy from Lewis Skelly and Ryan Yates. Let's have a look. I don't know. Postmanton says, even with players like Saka and Saliba out of the bench is night and day compared to last season. I would agree. I think today, I think, has been a very good example of Arsenal's strength and depth. You've got two of, arguably, their two best players. Arsenal's two best players aren't playing today in Saka and Saliba. You want to talk about, if you said name Arsenal's two best players, they probably would go like Saliba, Saka. They're both not available today. And they've dealt with Forest with ease 3-0. They've still got a million players they could bring on. It's a very impressively assembled squad. Is Anderson. And you're right, Postman didn't even start Declan Rice as well. Ball in. Martinelli towards Trossard. Nearly reached it, but didn't. But this is also what's interesting as well. Like, it feels like, it's very early days, isn't it? But it feels like if it's going to be sort of two people competing for the title, probably going to be Arsenal and Liverpool this year. And actually, that game did kind of show that there really isn't that much between Arsenal and Liverpool, I think. Obviously, Liverpool got the win, bit of individual brilliance, brilliant free kick from Szoboszlai, but there was really nothing in that game. The game actually stunk. Obviously, I did it here on the Football Flex. It was such a shit game. There was nothing in it apart from that free kick. And it'll be interesting to see at the end of the season if that game could be a difference, couldn't it? Here's Anderson. And Doy, but the ball just breaks to Marina. That'll be a foul. Does very well. Just a couple of minutes left of this one. I wonder how much time's going to be added on. A lot to ponder for Ange Postecoglou in his first match back, don't you think? Who are they going to go with player of the match? They're going with Zubimendi man the match. I mean, he's got 2 goals, hasn't he? He's been very good. I mean, to be fair, you could have given it to a couple. You could have given it, I think, to Madueke. He's been excellent. That's why he got a standing ovation when he came off. You could have given it to Mosquera. Was very good. But Zubimendi, I think, is a fair choice. 2 goals, an excellent volley. But Arsenal been in total control. Been very, very easy for them, hasn't it? I think we're going to get 4 minutes of stoppage time, apparently. Just put Forest out of misery. Ball in towards the back post, goes out for a goal kick. Big up Lost Boy with a super chat, says Owen holding it down for Fleck on his own channel. Hey, it's a team effort. It's always a team effort. Yeah. This is what I do. I am a streamer at heart. That's why I love doing streams like this, either here or on United View. So, for instance, tomorrow, obviously, it'll be live. 2 hours on United View, I'm always live 2 hours before kickoff. I might even be a little bit earlier than that. It's Manchester Derby. We'll see. But at least 2 hours before kickoff, I'll be live tomorrow. And that's what I enjoy. Fleck does his thing, his part. He's good at the sort of post-match reactions and breakdowns. But he'll be joining us for He'll be joining us for a couple of the games midweek for sure, the Champions League games. But this is what I do best, my friend. So I appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat as well. Appreciate all the support for the Football Fleck. As we're 1 like away from 80 likes. Good pass. And the only sort of bright spark for, or it could be for Trossard. Oh, he went to put it back on his right foot. He goes down. He dived. He definitely dived. But yeah, the only shining light for Forest is they've got Elliot Anderson. Because yeah, aside from that, they got nothing. I mean, their best players came off, or in like Gibbs White and Hudson-Odoi, and Wood, but they didn't do anything. Kalimawendo trying to turn against Mosquera. Did manage to get the cross, but Timber was there. It was easy to defend. Marino just waits, and he gets the foul. And pondering. Work to do for him, indeed. I mean, it really has been as comfortable as you can get for Arsenal today. Appreciate that, Seth, in the chat. And Starboy just mentions, to be fair, Arsenal, it is a horrible start, isn't it? Arsenal away is a horrible game to start. I mean, with especially this version of Arsenal after an international break, it's not ideal, is it? I mean, who do they play next, Forest? I mean, I'm assuming they'll be playing midweek. Oh, they're playing in the EFL Cup Wednesday against Swansea away. So it'd be interesting to see if Ange pursues that. And the next game after that is Burnley away. Surely. Oh, and then they play Anthony. They got Real Betis away after that. Wonder if he'll go full like he did last season. Just focus on the cups. Oh, it's a heavy touch by Milenkovic. Trying that ball over the top. Oh, Martinelli nearly got through. We're into our final 60 seconds here. Goalkeeper does well there to get it. Sal's. And again, it could have been more. Sal's made that save in the first half, didn't he? It could have been more. Referees just checking on Matt Sal's. May have been clipped slightly. I mean, some of Forest passing as well. They're just literally just shocking passing. They've been just passing it straight to Arsenal at this point. Kalimawendo, bit of space. Can they get a goal back? He's going to go by himself. Kalimawendo, no, hits it straight at Gabriel, goes up for a corner. And there you go. Full-time whistle in North London, full-time whistle at the Emirates. And Mikel Arteta's Arsenal pick up a very, very, very comfortable 3-0 victory. Ange Postecoglou's return to North London is not a pleasant one against the former hated rival of Ange Postecoglou's Spurs. It's not the best start for the Europa League winning manager, probably expected. But certainly what you can say about Arsenal is a very impressive performance from them today. I think we've seen just what is going to be Arsenal's strength this season, which is their strength in depth. Look at the players that they rested, rotated, were able to bring on today at the Emirates. I think it speaks volumes for where they're at the moment and how they can actually compete and I think push for the title this year. Look at the names. You've got arguably their two best players, Bukayo Saka and Saliba, both not available through injury. Doesn't matter. Mosquera comes in, arguably could have been man of the match, looks completely competent, completely composed, like he was at Anfield today at the Emirates. No problem at all for him. Noni Madueke, he's continued his form from international duty, brought it back to the Premier League. On the right-hand side, you're not even really talking that much about Bukayo Saka. Now, I'm not going to go as far as, he's better than Saka or anything like that, but today he could have been man of the match. He was absolutely top quality. When he got substituted, he got a standing ovation from the crowd there at the Emirates, and deservedly so. Midfield, their captain, Martin Odegaard, comes off early with a shoulder injury. No problem at all. Not an issue. They bring on Nwaneri. Zubimendi, new signing, gets 2 goals. Moreno looked really, really tidy. Eberechi Eze looks really, really tidy. Gets an assist for the new signing, Victor Gyökeres, who also scores. Calafiori comes off. Who comes on? Lewis Skelly. Other names that came on were Martinelli. Declan Rice was rested today. He came on. You've got Trossard. You can bring on players they didn't even bring on. Other likes of Ben White. You've got the centre-back they got from Bayer Leverkusen. Daumann they can bring on. So Arsenal, despite having injuries and players that aren't available, still go really their biggest flex today, no pun intended, was their ability to bring on players or their ability to rest players and rotate players. And that's what you need if you're going to compete in competitions, because this season, they've got to win something. You feel like Arteta's got to win something. They've been coming runners-up for so long. It's about winning trophies and maybe winning the biggest one, that being the Premier League. Whether or not they do that, we'll have to wait and see. But an impressive performance today, no doubt, from Arsenal, and certainly work to do for Ange Postecoglou. So there you go, guys. If you haven't already, click the like button. We're 2 likes away from 90 likes on the way out. Click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Football Flex. More streams, more content coming soon. As I mentioned, Champions League is back in the week, so we'll be back for that as well. And then, of course, Flex will have his daily videos too. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.